Skyrim is a sandbox RPG video game developed by Bethesda and released in 2011, 2013, 2014, 2016, 2017 and 2018. Its initial release date is pretty singular, as the game was launched on November 11 of 2011, so 11/11/11, or for our American friends, 11/11/11. Skyrim is part of the Elder Scrolls franchise, often regarded as one of the most ambitious RPG series in the world of video games, even though most people haven't really played it besides Skyrim and perhaps Oblivion. You start the game as a low-life thug on their way to be executed, which was a rather common career path in the Middle Age. But, surprisingly, as you are about to be beheaded, a dragon interrupts the show and starts wreaking havoc. You use that opportunity to escape and start a new life as a dragon hunter. You did survive the first encounter with one, after all. You forge an alliance with a local jarl and take down a random dragon, whose soul you immediately consume. Turns out, you are actually the legendary Dragonborn, able to wield the power of dragons. That power manifests in the form of shouting bad words at enemies, which is basically magic, but louder. You then meet an order of mystical monks called the Greybeards, who inform you that, surprisingly, your destiny is to save the world from an evil dragon named Alduin. What a coincidence. You therefore go on an adventure to save said world, and unless you get sidetracked by the billion side quests, you usually manage to defeat Alduin with the help of another dragon named Paarthurnax, who is secretly leading the Greybeards. The game finally presents you with two choices. Kill Paarthurnax because dragon's bad, or don't kill Paarthurnax because he did kind of help you, and also he is pretty chill. You can choose whichever options you prefer, but yeah, if you kill Paarthurnax, don't talk to me or Lydia ever again. On top of the world-saving business, your role is also to pick a side in the ongoing civil war that opposes an aggressively expanding corrupt empire and openly racist ethno-nationalists. Thankfully, this choice has zero consequences in the long run, so you can just pick whoever wears the coolest armor while committing war crimes. Gameplay-wise, Skyrim is played in first person if you have a male character, or in third person if you have a female character. You can wield a large variety of weapons, shields, bows, and even use different types of magic, ranging from healing spells to random magic staff. However, a strange phenomenon usually happens during most playthroughs, where you end up playing as a stealth archer 99% of the time, even if you swore you wouldn't this time. The game features multiple quests, activities, dungeons and secrets, enough to keep you occupied for hundreds of hours, especially that goddamn quest for the Stones of Barenziah. On top of all the existing content, Skyrim was also the most modded game of all times. Mods are player-made expansions that can easily be installed to provide modifications to the base game. And yes, you will probably notice that I do not use the term Skyrim vanilla. That is because it is a video game and not a fucking milkshake. Also, vanilla is not a boring flavor, fight me. Countless mods were made for Skyrim, including graphics overhauls, new combat mechanics, fan-made quests and companions, and porn. It was mostly porn. Jesus, people. I have mixed feelings on mods. On the one hand, they expand the game and can provide amazing content. On the other hand, mods are very often attempts at fixing bugs or improving stuff that Bethesda should have added in the base game to begin with. I know deep in my soul that Bethesda's vision was indeed to have flying Thomas the Tank Engine dragons, but were held back by either morality or copyright infringement laws. So should we blame Bethesda for the shortcomings of Skyrim, or praise them for creating a sandbox that enables content creators to unleash their creative genius? Definitely praise. And me saying this is in no way related to the fact that Todd Howard is currently holding me at gunpoint until I buy Skyrim New Remastered Enhanced Edition for my Samsung smart fridge. Please Todd, I have a family. Speaking of expansions, Skyrim has received 3 of them. The first one is Dawnguard, a story-focused expansion that introduces a new storyline about a secret vampire clan. Of course, it also included a sexy female vampire with daddy issues. No wait, that's the wrong one. There we go. The second one is Hearthfire, which was less interesting, as it only brought minor changes like marriage and property management. But hey, I guess owning a house is enough of a fantasy nowadays. The third DLC was titled Dragonborn. It added a new island, a new storyline, the ability to ride dragons, and an eldritch flying mass of eyeballs that speaks way too slow. Of course, Bethesda has already planned the next installment in the Elder Scrolls saga. The Elder Scrolls 6 was indeed announced at E3 2018. Remember game conferences? However, based on the current strategy of Bethesda, I would not be surprised if it actually turned out to be Skyrim for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. With ray tracing, of course. Perhaps that will finally be the golden opportunity to go to the Cloud District more often. Ha, what am I saying? Of course it won't.